Alright folks, I just put in a new battery so you guys can see this a little better. I have a little weight that I have on there. I think it's like a 1/16 ounce bullet weight, maybe 3/16. I forget, it's one or the other. And what I do is I take my line, and with this hook in particular, I kind of leave the extra braid on there, and you may be like thinking to yourself that might make things difficult, and it does. I gotta struggle a little bit more to put the thing in. Not too bad, like you guys saw right there. That was like a straight shot. I'm gonna come back around and do the polymer knot, but the reason why I leave the excess there is because there's a little gap in the eye here. Sometimes you'll find that the hooks come that way. If they're good hooks, they won't, but I got these on sale, so I'm not surprised. And instead of taking pliers and squeezing it or crimping that shut, I just let the excess braid do it, because I don't want it to affect the movement. I'm not sure if it really would affect the movement. I haven't really done too much like research, or I haven't really done too much experimenting with that yet, honestly. But it's just something that I was thinking about in my head. So you guys saw how I just did that knot there. That's a polymer knot. It's probably the simplest knot. I believe it's the strongest. It's got some sort of percentage of not breaking, and yeah, I might do it again just to show you guys, or maybe next time I'll do a little bit slower. But I'll do the polymer knot, and then I'll put this down for a second. And this is my bag where I keep all my swim dingers. They're not all the Swimdinger brand. Like, this is the Yum brand. This is the Swimbaits Shockwave. But this right here is the actual Swimdinger. This is my moneymaker. It's like the first one I fell in love with. And the reason why I have the other types of lures that are similar to this is just in the event that they stop making these Swimdingers, those are the other substitutes that I don't mind fishing, and that I actually kind of, would look for if I was in a Walmart or Academy, or a tackle store that I'm not too familiar with. But I know Walmart carries these, so normally there's a Walmart in there. I would pick these up. But in the event of them not having it, I've practiced and experimented with other ones to really see what I like. So this is how it comes. It's a pretty good length, but honestly I don't really like the full thing. I don't really know why, but I think it's too long, and like your hook will sit right here, right? And you have all this extra space that a fish can hit, and it's not going to hit your hook, and it's really frustrating when that happens. So what I do is, to try to avoid that, I'll take like 1/2 inch, maybe 1/4 inch. I'm not really a good measurer, and I'll take it like that, and I'll just, with my mouth, and that was pretty clean. That was pretty clean. That's it. So I start with this, and then I work my way down, and you can kind of see this little gut here, this little bubble. I don't try to go any past that, because the hook will come out over here, and it really impacts the movement, and it just isn't the same. So after I cut it down to how I like it, what I try to do is I try to find the lines. There's 2 lines on each side. It's like a laminated process or whatever. And find the lines, find the middle up top here, feed it through, try to make sure it's as even as possible in a good area, like that was. Make it as even as possible. I'm gonna put it out one last time actually and get a better angle on it. That's almost perfect in my mind. So I try to get it even. I try to see the line poking out over here and the line poking out over here, and I try to just make it as even possible. That looks like that. That's like that. I don't know. I'm gonna rock with that. Slide it up, spin it around, make sure it's covering that. So you want to basically bury this top part in this, in the nose of this lure. And some of these Swimdingers are going to come a little bit imperfect. I'm not sure if that's the way they had them stored on the shelf, if that affected it, or maybe transporting, it got a little warmed up and got itself in a new shape. But that's pretty much how I rock it. Like I said, there's so much space back here for him to bite onto that, after a while, when you start biting it down more and more and more, this will start getting chewed up, and finally the hook will be back here and it will affect the movement. So you've probably seen that process or noticed it, but I just wanted to address it with you guys and really go over on why I do that. So I'm gonna go make some casts with this, but I just wanted to show you guys on how I set up the Texas rig on the swimming dinger. That's a beautiful crappie, guys. I think it's good size. I thought it was a bass. I didn't have my GoPro rolling. I thought I did, but I cast here. Let me show you quick. I cast right over there, right between where this little lay down ends at the point over there, and in between that and the other tree that's over the water, that little pocket right there. Casted it around, and I saw it maybe 5 inches off the surface, you know, 5 inches off the top, so it was still visible underneath the water. But I was watching it work around, you know, get closer to the boat, and I saw this big mouth behind it, you know, make that O and start flashing. And I gave it a second, set the hook on it. And I would have bet money it was a bass, if I'm being honest, because just his mouth was a nice size, man. That's incredible, beautiful fish. That's a slab, guys. This is bigger than a hubcap. Sheesh, beautiful fish, guys. Love this. That's crappie, big boy. So I'm hunting this one down. I'll take the same size as my other one. Sheesh, that's intense, huh? That's a big fish. Awesome. That's a second slab I caught. The other one I want to say was a little bit bigger. That ain't bad. I'll take that all day. I'm still fishing the edges of this lake. I fishing the shorelines, and I know that last season underneath this tree, it's kind of hard to tell because the leaves aren't blossomed and stuff, so it's obviously looking different. And I'm seeing this lay down, this little brush pile right here, so I don't know if that got, you know, pulled over by the current, or if that fell over and, you know, when I wasn't here, you know, in the off season. But like I said, I had prior knowledge that this area usually holds them, so that's why I, you know, fished it a little bit more than I would have the other spots. But wow, this is like the first cast over here, so I had to fish it too long, you know, before I got this decent one. That's really cool though. I don't know if you guys can see that though, but it looks like little graphite, little pencil shavings. And normally that means, yep, all right here, wow. Normally that means that this is a male. So if you see, you know, black crappie with the little darker shading on their belly area, near their gills, like that's a perfect example right there, little graphite color. I think that means that they're males, and obviously they produce more hormones. That's why their color changes, and it all has to do with the spawning. So just a neat little, you know, tip I want to share with you guys. So I'm gonna get back in there. Hopefully there's a bigger mama that we'll try and get. Alrighty guys, I'm getting the good stuff out. It's a 16th ounce bullet weight. I have different types of them in here. I got ones that are more like dewdroppy shape, like this. I think this is a water gremlin style. I got kinds from Ozark Trail. I got the bullet weights, like the actual official kinds. And it really just depends on how I'm fishing. If there's a lot of grass and stuff, I probably want the more narrower types. Like it's almost more like a ice cream cone. But if I'm just fishing like random open water like this, I'm not getting too hung up on stuff, I'll use that more chunkier dewdrop kind. Alrighty, so this is the hook that I was telling you about. It's got 3 barbs on it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's like 1, 2, 3. So that's cool. And this is the eye I was telling you about. This one actually looks pretty good and closed. But normally I would leave a little bit of excess braid on there so that way it doesn't slip out. I've never really had the issue before, but I don't want to have that issue. So if I can avoid it, I will. So I go like this, put it in one side, back out the other side. So now I got a loop with this finger here. I'll take it like this, pinch them together like this, right? See how it's sliding in between? Pinch it together, cross them. Now I'm pinning it down still, cross them, feed this one through that circle that you made. You can pinch it between your fingers, pull it back out. Let's start to slide it down like that. Now you want to put the hook through. This kind of makes it easier, having the weight out of the way. And you start to pull. I normally pull on the side that I'm going to keep, so that way I don't, you know, waste as little as possible, right? Get it nice and close, nice and close, nice and close. And now, you know, it's good on there, but I'm just going to give a nice little tug. Boom. Now it's on there, it's snug. Now I have this excess, and I don't really know how close I like to get it. I like to get it pretty close, but I'm afraid of clipping the other line. So like that's good. I don't normally get that close if I'm being honest. It normally is just a tad bit longer, but that's excellent. I'll take that. So yeah, that's the polymer knot, guys. Polymer knot, strongest knot in my opinion. And I'm just going to go ahead and put another lure on. So here. That's close. Another one hit it. Finally got one. This is all right, but the other ones were twice the size, 3 times the size. Awesome. Come on, go. Just working the swim dinger, and I had 2 or 3 solid hits before this, just working this bank here. And they're not really creating wakes or anything, so I'm not really like getting ready for them, you know, for the striking. They're just kind of hitting it out of the blue, subsurface, so it's kind of tough to see. But this one hit it, no doubt. So, great fish, gonna let him go. Oh, fudge. Nice. Got him on the swim dinger. Get these little guys, but big boys just keep on doing me dirty. His jaw's all messed up. fantastic. This guy, uh-oh, stuck on my hook. Uh-oh. As soon as my lure hit the water, this guy smoked it. Obviously I set the hook and started reeling him in. I wouldn't have been surprised if he gotten off, but the hook set was pretty good. It was like in his, you know, it came out and looped back into him, and I love it when that happens. So yeah, like I said, I was gonna bring out the swim dinger, and I did, and it's tearing them up for me. I love it. It's a beautiful day. I'm just enjoying this weather. Gonna let him go here in a moment. Nice. Fishing along that tree that's in the water there. I normally have a lot of activity there. I can normally send like a wacky worm or something and get something going. This guy was just waiting for it. As soon as it fell in the water, I knew that something was on. Set the hook, reeled it in on the swim dinger. Beautiful fish. Again, that hit right there. That's where this guy was chilling. I'm gonna let him go though here in a moment. Beautiful fish, healthy. Back up that reel a little bit more. This one's spinning on me. Alrighty, fished up out here on this island. I was working the other side, but this island can be pretty juicy. I keep fishing around it. But yeah. Awesome. Beautiful fish. Just want to let him go. To get a picture, of course. You get that swim dinger like as soon as it hit the water. Just kind of no doubt. Really cool. Oh, fudge. Another one. Yes, sir. Knew they were going to be back here loaded up. Love it. Top of the roof. The roof of his mouth. Classic. When I made that cast over there along that shoreline, there was a couple wakes. So I'm gonna get back in there here in a moment. Hopefully I can get the other ones. Let's get the sucker open up. I think that might be a fish right there. Showing off. I'm gonna let this guy go and get him in a moment. I don't know why I did that. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have just gone over here with it. But I went this way and I paid for it. Cut my tail off too. Get a new lure. That's alright though. I'm just gonna keep on fishing this shoreline. Wraps around. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a couple fries of fish swimming around here. Kind of spooking them. And I'm hoping that's, you know, like right here for instance. Hopefully that's what those fish are either protecting or they're trying to eat. So I thought that was really interesting. I just wanted to show you guys. Or just inform you that if you guys see little schools of fish like that, to cast around there, because like I said, chances are there's going to be something there guarding it, and it's going to attack anything that it doesn't want around it, like your lure, or it's going to, be searching for food like that. So, try to get something in its face. Maybe you might have to downsize, if you're not getting hits on like a normal size lure. But just something I wanted to pass along to you guys. Ooh, you see that? Basically, when I'm just trying to get anything, I'm just casting out to the shoreline as close as I can without getting it wrapped up in any of the twigs. I'm just bringing it through like this, hoping I can something fall in it. Can't see. Like that. Whew. Beautiful. Textbook. Thank you, buddy, for biting. That's really cool. Just trying to explain to you guys on why I'm fishing this lure. This guy came up and whacked it. Booyah! It's a good fish too. Pretty much all day it's been like that. As I'm pulling out my lure, it seems like they're making the final dash for it. And most of them have been getting away, I'll be honest. Majority of them have been getting away. But a few of them, like this guy, aren't so lucky. But what he is lucky is that I only catch and release, and I'm not taking these guys home, or that he's that bird food, or that he's going to swim another day. So I'm gonna get a picture with him and let him go. Knew that guy was coming. Ooh, just went over my boat. Ooh, got me, played me. Fast. Ooh, baby. I'll make a cast and it's gonna get a piece on, stuck on a branch or something. It's just going to dig right into it and it'll be off or not. So I'm just going to stick with how they came. But yeah, maybe later on I'll show you guys how I do that, how I sharpen my hooks. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that, because I can definitely go over on just the scenarios I would do it, how I do it, and just go over a quick little step or two process. It's not really challenging at all. It's really easy, and it's something that I think a lot of people just don't think about nowadays. Like, they're more the first step is to grab a new hook, when that should probably be your last step. You should try to resharpen it if you can. Let's just say if it's been out of shape, I understand that, like, if you try to bend it back, the integrity of the metal may become compromised. But in like a life or death situation where you need every last piece of metal and hook or lure, it's not a bad idea to bend it back to what it originally was. And not to mention, like, the things we're fighting, like, they do fight, but I don't think they're that strong enough to really to really bend a hook like that, unless it has help. And when I say help, I mean it wraps you up on something, but I could be dead wrong about that as well. I mean, I haven't really caught in too many animals, or monsters is probably a better term for it. I haven't caught in too many monsters, so I don't really know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to them. But everything else, like I said, you should be able to bend the hook back and be fine. And then if you feel like you'd be better off with it, bring out the little file and sharpen it real quick. And hopefully that can, you know, increase your chances of actually catching them. But like I said, a lot of people's first reaction is to go to a new hook, when that doesn't really have to be the case, because sure, bending the hook back and filing down does take time, but so does retying and cutting the line and having to reposition the lure on it, you know. Like, I'm pretty sure I can bend the hook back and I can file it down all with my, you know, worm being crumpled up on it. You know, and that's something that I can include as well in the video where I'm directing how to sharpen a hook. I can go over that and just maybe show how just someone's got it. I started reeling into that one. I didn't set the hook on or nothing. Surprised he didn't get off. Woohoo! I got lucky there, guys. I didn't set the hook on him. Sometimes with these swim baits, especially the ones with like treble hooks and stuff, it's better not to set the hook, because if you can kind of like lean it into them more than actually set the hook, like lean into it, and normally, you know, it'll catch their mouth somehow. But let's say if they, you know, get it, you know, if they spit it, or if you pull it a little bit too hard and pull it out of their mouth, usually the swim bait will still keep swimming. Like, if it's not too jacked up, it'll keep swimming, so they'll strike again, you know, hopefully. I'm not sure how accurate that is with bass, because bass, like I said, they're looking for that easy meal, and if they have to really put that much energy into something, they may just say screw it and just leave it alone. But again, it all depends time of year as well. You know, if you're going over his bed or whatever, he may make it a priority. But yeah, I'm gonna go down there and get him. Give me one moment, guys. I'll show you him. Beautiful fish. Cool. Lucky contestant. That's what I'm talking about. Again, just working this edge line here, working the shoreline. I've been having so much activity doing that. And like, I've had in this area alone, from the point to here, which is like 20 yards, maybe a little bit less than 30 yards, I had like 3 or 4 fish come out for it. So this is the first one I actually caught, which I love. But yeah, it's working for me. I'm on a low pattern. But yeah, like I said, there's so many things that go into catching a fish, guys. Like this guy. See that? I just missed him. And look at that. He took my tail. Took my tail. Wasn't I just telling you guys that even though the hook's up here, they'll probably hit it down here? Now, I'm thinking I should probably downsize and get a smaller swim bait, which I do have. But I do like the movement that this swim dinger produces. So now I'm in dilemma. I'll come back when I have a new one. Some hit it. Saw that. Saw that. Ooh, all day. Fudge. It's fishing though. Ooh. Took my tail, fudge. What the heck was that? Finally. That was really galoot. I don't know why I got him in the boat like that. He should have really gotten off. All the other ones would have. But I'll take this one. I'm not even complaining. Just confused. Classic. See that right there, guys? I like went in and then back out. So I don't know if you really count that as a double hookup type thing, but I don't really think he was going to get that out of his mouth on his own without doing some serious harm to himself. But these fish are crazy, and they don't really care what they do to themselves as long as they get off the hook. So, just working the banks with this swim dinger. Getting so many hits that I should be catching these fish, but they're playing me. But I played him, and I got him. Decent fish. I'll let him go. Nice bass. I was just thinking about them. Beautiful. Let's go. Swimming, guys. Sheesh. I was just thinking about this guy. Nice. Whew. Love that, huh? That's a beautiful hook set. Jeez. Get you off him. Wow. That's a beautiful fish. It's been a minute since I caught a bass this size. Make sure that's nice and cleaned off. Beautiful fish, guys. Wow. So pretty. So healthy too. See that belly on him? This guy's stacked. Stacked to the gills, literally. So strong. Man, I did not expect that coming. Expecting maybe a pickerel. I was hoping for bass. I know that there's bass that like to hang out in these waters, and I was just thinking to myself, why didn't they fish where they like to hang out? I could have been repping up and down their ledge, but got my prayers answered anyways. I'll take that. Beautiful fish, huh? Wow. I'll let him go. So awesome. Before I do that though, I just want to let you know that I was fishing this bank once again, kind of how I've been fishing for the pickerel. And this guy must have been cruising, and he probably saw my lure. He's like, hey, that fish is messed up, man. Let me go get that easy meal. That's what they want. They want that easy meal. Awesome. Like I said earlier, the fish will tell you what they want. Ain't that the truth? Beautiful fish. Cool. Oh. Jacked him up. Saw that sucker come out for it. He sat on it. Sat on the lure. Textbook. Roof of the mouth, just on his lip, man. If he wanted to, he could have gotten off. I know it. Maybe he's wanted to get a picture with me. I'm famous. I'm famous. I'm kidding. Same technique. Working the banks, just like I caught that bass not too long ago. Now I got this pickerel. Really enjoy myself out here. It's a lovely evening. It's almost like 5 o'clock, maybe 5:30. See how many more we can catch.